This video lesson, we're going to talk about when stocks or companies do stock splits. We're going to look at Tesla, and we're also going to look at a low float stock, IMTE. Now, how many times have you pulled up a stock? For example, IMTE. It's a low price, low float stock, and you've told yourself when you look up at the daily chart, man, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, this stock went on an epic run. But when you look at the daily chart, there's no history of that ever happening. I've seen that multiple times with multiple stocks, even with the popular name CEI. My whole career as a trader, CEI Chamber Energy has always been around. And when you scroll out on this chart, this is a daily chart. You can look left on this and you're seeing prices were once at $2 million. This stock chart is so out of whack. And the reason for it is this stock has done so many stock splits, reverse splits, that it just totally threw the chart out of whack. This stock was never at 2 million shares. We started talking about this idea when we were looking at Tesla. Now, Tesla, for a lot of newer people getting into the stock market, they may be saying, wow, this is the first time ever Tesla is breaking up over 1,000. Well, when you look at it, and if you've been around, this isn't the first time Tesla has broken up over $1,000. Once again, we're looking here at the daily chart. We scroll out, and from the looks of it in history, Tesla's up here at 1,000 for the first time. We look where they did a split. They did a split right here back in early 2020. Now, when we go on the internet, pull up Google here. This is from the Motley Fool. We're looking at a chart Tesla. This was back in January 2020, May, July. And you see here the stock was at $400, $800, $1,200 to a high of $1,600 a share per share. And this was all before they did their split. And when they did their split, we'll pull back up the daily chart right here. They did their split right here. I forget what it was. I think they did like a 1-for-2 split. So for every 1 share of Tesla that you had, you were getting 2 shares, and they just cut prices in half. So if Tesla was at, let's say, $1,600 a share, cut that in half. What's half of 1,600? It would be 800. They did a split. They opened it up here at 550. I can't remember the exact Tesla was at before they did the split. I was just giving you an example. So if it was at 1,000 and they did a 2-for-1 split, they'd open it at 500, and then that's where they would set the history for it. They did the split. There, you look left, there's no history ever of this being up and above 1,000. And the importance of this video lesson, I want to make it clear. I don't really see too many people talk about it, or you don't hear about it. When stocks or companies do splits, it totally throws the daily chart and the history out of whack. And the more the companies do these splits and reverse splits, the more out of whack they get. You can even pull up and look at your shipping container stocks. Dries used to be a shipping container stock. That's not a TIS stock anymore. DCIX was one that isn't available anymore. TOPS is a shipping container stock. See here, when we're looking at the daily chart and I scroll out on this, look at all this out of whack action here. There's a split way back here in 2016. They did a 1-for-10 reverse split, and just look at from negative 180 million to a positive 200 million. There's really no history to go off of. And when you really zoom in, like, look at how wild it gets. And look at all of these different splits here. The only reason I'm talking about shipping container stocks right now, if you've been around in the stock market, you know back 3-5 years ago, shipping container low float stocks was the thing. These stocks went insane. And look at where they're at now. Today, Tops is at a penny. 1 penny. Look at the intraday chart here. It's an official penny stock. Back in the day, this was a hot stock, super hot stock. Now it's a garbage stock. So just keep that in mind. I think that this is a great topic in a video lesson. I wanted to cover it and document it, especially with small cap stock. Because I know a lot of you being here every day, you're putting in that time and that experience. You'll have stocks that pop up and you'll tell yourself like, man, that name sounds familiar. Like, I remember this stock running 2 years ago. But then when you look up at the daily chart, it doesn't, there's no history of it ever running from the stock and doing splits and reverse splits. It just totally throws it out of whack. And today, for example, IMTE, I remember this stock running in the past. 2-3 years ago, this was a former runner. But when I pull up the daily chart and look, there's really nothing. I mean, I go all the way back here to 2018. That's the last day that this stock ran. And it only did it on 2 million in volume? I don't think so. And you're right, Rome. Tesla did in early August 2020. Tesla announced a 5-for-1 stock split that sent the share price to a record high of $2,000. Following the stock split, the price per share was reset to around $460. So thanks for sharing that clip there, Romes. And a lot of people really get messed up when companies announce they're doing stock splits. Like, they think that they're getting more when they're not. All it is you're getting more shares, yeah, but it's like getting cut in half. But a lot of people get screwed up. Large cap companies do stock splits, reverse splits. They think that they're getting more, so they'll try to buy more shares of a company before they do their split. When in reality, all it is, they're giving you more shares, yeah, but then they're cutting that price in half. So you're not gaining any, but you're not losing any as well. And for a moment in time there, this was a strategy that was hot. We all know the stock market's very trendy, right? Well, back a couple of years ago, what was a real popular strategy was low float stocks that recently did reverse splits. And for a whole year straight, that was the trading theme and the strategy to go to. Were low float stock, small cap, that recently did reverse splits. They all went on epic runs. That's going to wrap it up for this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Join the Trading Learning 101 community where we all grow as traders and investors. As I always say, have that patience, have that discipline, study, study, study. Later.